My name's Doreen Stopforth and I live in Banks, which is in West Lancashire, and I have quite a large family. There's my husband John, 2 daughters and numerous grandchildren, and we've lived here for we have lived here now for 40 years. The first thing we knew about fracking was when we actually saw the rig going up, but we'd actually seen a notice which was down a private road, tacked onto a telegraph pole, but we were really unsure what it was all about at that time. Then when we opened up one day the curtains, there was a structure that looked like it belonged in NASA rather than in the middle of a cabbage field, and really from there on we then started to I started to try and find out actually what was happening, and I rang West Lancs Council, who are a local council, and they said they didn't know anything about it because they were only in charge of planning permission for things that were above the ground. And I said to them, well, this is well above the ground. And they said, well, it's Lancashire County Council that you need. So I then got in touch with Lancashire County Council, who then told us that it was an exploratory rig which was drilling for gas. So from there on, I then started to investigate what was actually happening. And then when I found out they were going to frack, I was pretty horrified. I fortunately saw a notice saying there was a meeting in our local hall, which we attended, my husband and I. We got more information from there. And after that, we formed a local group called REAF, which is Ribble Estuary Against Fracking. Now, I've lived here in Banks, as I've mentioned before, for 40 years. Both my husband and I, we've farmed organically. We haven't used any chemicals at all on our land for at least 35 years. And the thought that all this is going to happen is absolutely terrible. I mean, we haven't got the time at our time in life to start again somewhere and to create something that we've created here over the last 35 years. Well, we can't start again, can we? We brought our grandchildren and our children up here, and we can't actually start again. We haven't got that time to invest into what we've already invested in. And we won't be able to hand that on to our children because we don't know what's going to happen here. They're going to disturb everything in the area. And this actual land here, the agricultural land here, is worth £90 million a year to the country. And they're putting all that at risk.
How do you feel the industry has behaved towards you as local residents?
Well, they say they've had consultations, but in fact, they've just told lies all the time. They've really told you what they want you to hear. And there's been a lot of cover-up. And as I would put it, skullduggery. They just want the money. It's all down to money, and getting the last fossil fuels that the earth can give us. And I really think that we ought to be going another way.
So do you feel you weren't consulted over this process at all?
No, not at all. We didn't know anything about it. No proper consultations. And had we not formed the group we formed, REAF, I don't think there would have ever been any at all. We've pressurised them from as much as we possibly could. We've pressurised the councils, Lancashire County Council, the MPs, everybody, to try and get people to take notice of what's going on in the area. No, I don't think Well, in fact, they haven't informed us because they don't want us to know.
What do you think will be the immediate impact for you and your family?
The health hazards I'm really worried about. They're going to vent and flare. I live half a mile away, so they're going to pollute the atmosphere, and the actual waste that's going to come out and go past my house, maybe, or very near my house. And I'm really, really concerned about the health hazards more than anything, because of my children and grandchildren, and also obviously ourselves, but more for them.
What's your message to people who haven't heard of the threat of fracking?
Find out about it, get on the internet, read what's happening, believe what you read. Don't be convinced by the people who are trying to make money out of it. Believe in yourself and the information that you read. There's a lot out there if you just take the time to have a look.